Prince Louis is stealing the spotlight from everyone, even King Charles himself. At just 5 years old, the youngest son of Prince William and Princess Catherine has managed to charm not only Britain, but the entire world. His cheeky antics, his heartfelt moments, and his growing confidence at royal events have left millions wondering, could Louis truly reshape the monarchy's future? Before we dive into Louis's most unforgettable moments, his hidden bond with King Charles, and the surprising ways he's already standing apart from George and Charlotte, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss the latest royal stories, especially the ones the world can't stop talking about. But back to Louis, the royal child who's become an internet sensation, a fan favorite, and perhaps the monarchy's secret weapon. Let's begin. Every royal event has its stars. For decades, the cameras followed Queen Elizabeth, then Princess Diana, and now Princess Catherine. But in recent years, something unexpected has happened. The youngest of the Wales children, Prince Louis, keeps walking away as the main attraction. Unlike George, who carries himself with a reserved dignity, or Charlotte, who is known for her poise and elegance, Louis is unpredictable, and that's exactly what makes him irresistible. At Trooping the Color this summer, Louis stunned fans when he arrived dressed like a miniature royal gentleman, jacket, tie, and a composure well beyond his years. For a brief moment, he looked every inch a future king. And people noticed. Speculation began swirling. Was Louis already preparing for a more prominent role within the royal family? Could he be groomed not just as the spare, but as a symbol of modern relatability? But that wasn't the only time he left people talking. The pinnacle of Louis's young life so far came during King Charles III's coronation. Millions around the world were glued to their screens, watching history unfold. And yet, somehow, little Louis became one of the highlights of the entire event. Observers couldn't help but notice the uncanny resemblance between Louis and Charles as a boy. From the mischievous expressions to the moments of visible boredom during long ceremonies, Louis seemed to echo his grandfather's childhood perfectly. It wasn't just looks, the bond between them was undeniable. Louis Arthur Charles, his very name ties him directly to the monarch. And at the coronation, that connection shone brightly. Cameras caught Louis leaning close to his grandfather, whispering, laughing, and even sharing small hugs during the celebrations. For royal watchers, this wasn't just sweet, it was symbolic. It showed a generational bridge, a reminder that while Charles reigns today, the monarchy's future rests in the hands of little royals like Louis. Still, for all his moments of dignity, Louis's mischievous side was never far away. And that's what made the Jubilee, and his antics there, completely unforgettable. No one knows how to capture attention quite like Louis. Whether it's pulling faces at the crowd, covering his ears dramatically at air shows, or even playfully shushing his mother, Catherine, Louis has mastered the art of being delightfully unpredictable. During the late Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee, Louis practically stole the entire show. While dignitaries sat stiffly and the cameras rolled, Louis yawned, pointed, chatted, and even waved his hands around in mock exasperation. At one point, Catherine leaned in to gently calm him, only for Louis to put his hand over her mouth, cheeky, bold, and unforgettable. But here's what makes it even more fascinating. Charles was the exact same at Louis's age. Old photographs reveal the young Charles sulking, pouting, and throwing tantrums alongside Princess and during official ceremonies. Louis is not just as mini-me in looks, he's as mini-me in spirit. The more history repeats, the more fans are convinced the two share something deeper than genetics. And while his antics make headlines, there's another layer. His sibling relationships, especially with Charlotte, are shaping him just as much. Being the youngest of three means Louis is never far from guidance, or a little correction. Princess Charlotte, in particular, has taken on the role of Louis's gentle teacher. At one event, when a fan handed Louis flowers, instead of keeping them, he eagerly ran them over to Charlotte, as if knowing she'd know exactly what to do. It was a small moment, but one that revealed just how much he looks up to her. Then there's George, the future king himself. Louis often mirrors his brother's dress and demeanor. When George steps out in a suit and tie, Louis is right behind him, copying the look. It's not just imitation, it's admiration and a quiet recognition of George's role in the family hierarchy. But the sweetest moments often come with Catherine. Who could forget the day Loie placed his tiny handprint next to his mother's on a wall, marking his place alongside hers? For Catherine, it was a moment of pride. For fans, it was proof that Loie is growing into a gentleman, guided by love and family unity. Of course, much of this comes from Catherine's parenting style, her careful balance of royal duty and normal childhood. Catherine has made one thing clear: her children will not grow up isolated from real life. That's why the family lives at Adelaide Cottage, tucked away from the intense spotlight, where the children can enjoy nature and everyday experiences. For Loie, this upbringing has been transformative. He spends hours gardening, exploring the outdoors, and getting dirty, just like any other child his age. Catherine has even shared that Loie insists on going outside every single day after school, rain or shine. He's also taken to sports with enthusiasm. Rugby is already a favorite. No surprise given Catherine's passion for the game, and he's even tried his hand at archery. But Catherine's care is just as visible during official events. She brings pillows for Loie when long ceremonies drag on. She quietly reads to him when concerts bore him, and she keeps her composure even when his cheeky antics test her patience. Fans see her grace, and they see his freedom, and together, they paint a picture of a modern royal family that feels human, warm, and relatable. And it's precisely that relatability that has turned Loie into the public's favorite. If there's one thing that separates Loie from previous generations of royals, it's how approachable he feels. From volunteering with the Scouts, where he learned how to build campfires, roast esmores, and even drive a digger, to enjoying casual family car trips, Loie is always presented as a child who could easily be your neighbor's kid. He laughs, he experiments, he learns. And that's why fans online call him the people's prince of his generation. While George carries the weight of a crown to come, and Charlotte is the epitome of royal elegance, Loie is the one who reminds people that royals are still, at their core, human. It's this authenticity, this sense that he's not putting on an act, that has won him such widespread affection. And yet, beneath the charm, there are also glimpses of his strengths and vulnerabilities. Loie is nothing if not brave. On his first day of school, he walked forward with bold steps, unbothered by the cameras. A stark contrast to George, who had clung nervously to his father's side on his own first day. From the very beginning, Loie has radiated confidence. But he's not without his struggles. Loud noises, especially airplanes, unsettle him. Even at air shows, where his siblings seemed fascinated, Loie covered his ears and grimaced, making it clear that not every royal experience is comfortable for him. At times, long ceremonies overwhelm him, and his cheeky antics often reveal just how restless he feels. And yet, that's exactly why people love him. He's not perfect, he's not rehearsed, and he doesn't hide his feelings. In Loie, people see honesty, and in a family often criticized for stiffness, that honesty feels refreshing. So what does this mean for his future? As Loie grows, his role within the monarchy will become more defined. He may never sit on the throne, but his presence is already shaping the public image of the royal family. Some believe he'll take on more public duties earlier than expected, precisely because of his ability to connect so easily with ordinary people. Others speculate that Loie could become the monarchy's secret weapon, the royal who bridges the gap between tradition and modernity, formality and relatability. After all, what better way to secure the monarchy's future than through a child who already feels like one of us? Loie's journey has only just begun, but one thing is certain: he's no ordinary royal. He's cheeky, he's charming, and he's unforgettable. Prince Loie has captured hearts with every grin, every silly face, every hug for his grandfather, and every tender glance at his mother. He's more than just the youngest Wales child. He's a symbol of authenticity in a monarchy that often struggles to feel human. As the years pass, Loie will face challenges, expectations, and countless cameras. But if his first years in the spotlight are any sign, he's ready to handle it his way, with honesty, humor, and undeniable charm. So now we want to hear from you. Which Prince Loie moment has stolen your heart? Drop your answer in the comments, and while you're there, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss the next unforgettable royal moment. After all, Loie's story is only just beginning, and you won't want to miss what happens next.